Who should the Springboks pick for their opening game against the All Blacks, the opening game of Rugby's greatest rivalry series? This is going to be absolutely awesome, and in this video, I'm going to be telling you who I think they will pick, the Springboks who I think they will pick, and who I think they should pick as well. Now, I am an absolute die-hard Springbok fan. I've been a Springbok fan my entire life. But with regard to this series and covering this series, I'm going to be covering the series. All my videos will be completely unbiased, completely neutral. Of course, watching the game, I want the Springboks to win. But with regards to how I kind of approach the content right now, it's going to be completely unbiased, and I'll be absolutely fair with all my ratings, all my predictions and everything. Because realistically, the All Blacks are coming with a point to prove right now. They've picked up their game now. They've picked up their act. They're playing some really good rugby right now. There's a chance that they can beat us, but still, I think we can put out a really strong squad. We are the defending world champs, two-time world champs, and I think we just have to lay the marker down now and show truly right now, we have what it takes to be three-time world champs, and we right now are the #1 team in the world. No questions asked. So that's just what I think the Springboks have to do now. But before we do get into it, if you guys do enjoy the content, please don't forget to like and subscribe to help the channel grow. I really do appreciate all the support. I mean, all the comments, all the feedback. It's been absolutely awesome. The Springbok fans have been absolutely awesome. The All Blacks fans have been absolutely awesome. All the fans on this channel, all the subscribers, all the comments have been absolutely awesome. So I really do appreciate that. And once again, I always ask that if you guys do disagree with some of the things I'm saying, let me know why you disagree. Let's talk about it down below. There's no need for any hostility. Let's talk about it, because this series right now is going to be fireworks from start to finish. First game is at Ellis Park. Second game, I think, is Soccer City or Cape Town. Third game is in Cape Town. Fourth game in Baltimore in USA. I mean, this is the pinnacle of rugby right now. #1 versus #2 in the world. And me as a Springbok fan, we've had our hearts broken by the All Blacks a fair few times in my life. At Ellis Park before. That big victory against us in Durban 2016. I'm thinking about some of the other results. 2017 in Wellington it was. 2017 that same year at Newlands. A few weeks after. A massive bounce back. The All Blacks just beat the Springboks there. That could have been the comeback that saw the Springboks back to glory. There's been so many heartbreaking losses. Don't even get me started about the 2015 semi-final against the All Blacks as well. There's been so many heartbreaking losses, and I think that's what this whole kind of tour, that's what it's about. I mean, it's about all these historic games coming together right now, these two historic teams playing against each other with so much respect between the fans, between the countries, between the cultures, the rugby cultures. I mean, this really is the #1 and #2 country in rugby history going against each other, and it's going to be an all-out war for the next few weeks. So it's going to be absolutely awesome. But let's get right into the team I think Rassie Erasmus will select, and the team that I think he should select as well. Of course, there will be a few of you that do disagree. Let me know down below in the comments and let me know why. But starting off with the front row, pretty self-explanatory. I've gone for Oxenchair at #1, ex-World Player of the Year Malcolm Marx at #2, and #3, currently the best prop in the world in my opinion, Thomas du Toit. Those three guys right there will really lay the foundation for the Springboks. Extremely good scrummagers, extremely good at set piece, and you know what? Oxenchair, Thomas du Toit, and Malcolm Marx, all three of those guys are brilliant in their own ways around the park. Oxenchair is a good ball carrier, a bruising ball carrier for a prop, smashes people on defense. Thomas du Toit is a try-scoring machine for a prop as well. Really good with the cleaning, really good at doing the unseen hard graft around the field. He really works hard and does the unseen hard work. Malcolm Marx, good defender, makes a lot of tackles, but over the ball, he is the Springboks' primary fetcher. He will be trying to slow down that All Blacks ball, getting a few penalties, trying to be a bit of a game changer at the breakdown there for the Springboks, which he's done so many times before. And I've said it many times, normally the guys from Japan, they come back, it takes a few games for them to really get into the swing of things. The Japan-based players this season have come back and actually been the players already on form right now, ready to go. So that's very good to see. They are all ready for these opening games. But moving on to the locks, the #4 jersey. This is where there's a lot of debate. I mean, there's Kobus Wiese, there's Eben Etzebeth, there's Lodi Jager. There's so many good players. Ben Jason Dixon, Franco Mostert. I'm going with Eben Etzebeth right now. What I saw from him in the Argentina game was enough for me to say they will pick him for this game. He's got the experience. He's won a few World Cups already. And I don't really see Eben Etzebeth as an enforcer anymore. I know a lot of people seem to kind of correlate him or relate him to Bakkies Botha, saying they play very similar styles of rugby. They actually play completely different styles of rugby. In my opinion, Eben Etzebeth is more of a Victor Matfield than we actually think, because since 2017, he's not been that same enforcer guy that gets into all these scuffles and really bullies people on the field. He is very good at doing the unseen hard work, stacking up the tackles, hitting rucks extremely hard, and at line-out time, he's an absolute genius. So number 4 for me, it's got to be Eben Etzebeth, but we need Eben Etzebeth at his best. If this is his last year and a bit of rugby for the Springboks, go out on a high, go out on your shield, just absolutely go for it, because he's a legend. And I think this series and then the World Cup next year, so we can really kind of go from being one of the best Springboks ever to being like in the top 3 conversation for greatest Springboks ever. So this is a big series for him. He needs to get back to his best so that we actually have a chance of winning, because the 2 locks on the All Blacks right now, they're young. Sam Darry, Josh Lord, Fabian Holland as well. They're young, they're explosive, they're physical, they're big, they are ready to go. So the challenge has been laid down. But moving on to number 5, it's a no-brainer for me. Ruan Nortje, the best number 5 currently in my opinion in the world right now. That is a bit of a big statement, but he is just phenomenal for the Springboks. He right now probably is one of the top 3 guys that is always the first choice on the team list. A hard worker around the park, really good with ball in hand as well, very good decision maker. And in all honesty, in my opinion, I think from 2027 onwards, after the World Cup towards the 2031 World Cup, I think he might just be the captain of the Springbok team. I really do see that. A phenomenal rugby player. He has to have a big series. And notice how I keep saying these guys have to have a big series, because the All Blacks are coming with vengeance. The All Blacks are coming to take the number 1 spot in the world, and the All Blacks right now have this mindset of they're going to try rock up, beat our Springbok team, and they want to try take back the number 1 spot and show they truly are the best team in rugby history. So it's going to be absolutely awesome this series. But now, moving on to the loose forwards, this is where I think it's an easy decision, but it's still very difficult because there's so much depth in South African rugby right now that it's almost impossible to truly choose the strongest one and know what the coaches will pick. But for me, Siya Kolisi right now, I think he will be missing the first 2 or 3 games of the series. He injured the one hamstring, I think it was his left hamstring, got that all rehabilitated, he's all fine now. Now in the Argentina game, tweaked the other hamstring, the right side, so he is battling that injury right now. I don't see that he will be playing in this game. A hamstring like that takes 2 to 3, maybe 4 weeks to properly heal. Playing on a irritated hamstring, a hamstring that's got a bit of a niggle, will definitely actually probably increase the chances of tearing it by a lot. So they don't want to take that chance, especially a year out from the World Cup, and so much rugby still left to play this year. So for me, number 6, it's got to be the man in form, the Stormers man himself, an ex-under-20 captain for the Junior Springboks, Paul de Villiers. I mean, this guy is such a good rugby player, and it's not just his ability to fetch and steal at the floor, which I think that him and Malcolm Marx being a bit of a 1-2 punch of being extremely good fetchers will be really key for the Springboks right now. It's his ability to actually get over the gain line, dominate the opposition, really good tackles as well, really good rugby IQ, and he can play in the outside channels as well because he's very fast and very skillful as well. So number 6 for me is Paul de Villiers. That is a big jersey to fill. I don't think he really truly ever fill the jersey, but I think he's going to play in that jersey in his own way and make it kind of his own kind of style in that 6 jersey, which I am excited to see. But if Siya Kolisi was healthy, I would have definitely put Siya Kolisi there because he is a big time player with Paul de Villiers on the bench. Now moving on to number 7 and 8, it's pretty self-explanatory. Number 7, I've gone for Pieter-Steph du Toit. In my opinion, our best player and one of the best Springbok players of all time. Probably top 2 in my opinion. What a rugby player, what a legend for the Springboks. And then number 8, a legend in South African rugby, came into the Springbok scene in 2021, was good, was physical, but now this guy is an absolute machine. He's a workhorse, one of the best number 8s in the world, and his battle with Ardie Savia is going to be incredible. Number 8, Jasper Wiese. And just looking at that forward pack right there, that is firepower to the max. That is the strongest team, besides Siya Kolisi, the strongest team that we can put out right now. Of course, Erge Snyman, I think, would be on the bench if he was healthy, but still, that forward pack right there has size, has power, has experience, has leadership. They just have that kind of will to win. And I think this forward pack right here, this forward pack versus the All Blacks forward pack, is going to be a battle to behold. The scrum battle is going to be intense. The collisions at the breakdown are going to be absolutely incredible, and you can just see how excited I am for this. And I think this forward pack right here is the best forward pack the Springboks can play right now to go and get the job done against a very informed All Black side right now. Moving on to the backline, number 9 and number 10. Now this is where I think a lot of people might disagree, but if you've been watching the Springboks for the last few years, they actually play the number 9 and number 10 combinations together. They keep the combinations together. They don't like to separate them, where last year it was Cobus Reinach and Sasha Ngoma Zulu starting with the likes of Grant Grant Williams and Marley Lebok coming off the bench. But the key thing there, they always kept Marley Lebok and Grant Williams together. They always kept Kobus Reinach and Sasha Ngomazulu together. And I think that is very key in the selection for this game. And I think that is key because Sasha Ngomazulu right now probably isn't at his best, and I think it would be a little bit of a risk if you did start him in this game. I do think he will feature, but I don't think he'll start. So for that reason of keeping the combinations together, I think you go with the informed scrum half in Grant Williams, who's one of the best scrum halves in the world, a game breaker by nature, one of the fastest players in World Rugby. And at number 10, I think we go with Marnie Lebok. I really do think we go with Marnie Lebok. I think he's such a good player. He really pulls the strings well for the Springboks. His ability to kick the ball right to the 5-meter corner, just before the corner, to the 5-meter line, put our team in such a good position, such a good attacking position. Very good kicking out of hand. Of course, needs to work for his kicking off the tee, but I don't think he'll be kicking off the tee. So that might give you a hint about who I think will be kicking and who the other guys will be selected. But for me at number 9, it's got to be Grant Williams. And number 10 right now, it's got to be Marnie Lebok. I know a lot of people will say, what about Handré Pollard? He did amazing things in the World Cup. No doubt about that. In my opinion, Handré Pollard is the greatest Springbok fly-off we've ever had because of those 2 World Cups. But I think right now, it's not 2023 anymore, and I think Marnie Lebok is really playing some of the most composed, incredible rugby and making the Springboks look like a better team sometimes on attack. I mean, think about the other games against New Zealand. Marnie Lebok was at the forefront there in the 10 jersey. So when it comes to the All Blacks, Marnie Lebok and Grant Williams know how to beat them, and they know how to unlock them and play some really good rugby against them, and I think they'll do the same thing this time. But of course, that one could be completely different. This is just my opinion and who I think Rassie will pick for this game. But now moving on to the other positions, moving on to the centres. This one is a bit of a no-brainer. Number 12, Damien de Lindy, and number 13, Jesse Kriel. But this centre battle is going to be epic. Quinn Tupaia, Geordie Barrett versus de Lindy and Kriel. Very, very experienced centre pairings. One a bit younger than the other. De Lindy and Kriel, the most capped Springbok centre pairing of all time, versus a new centre pairing for the All Blacks, but they are building cohesion. They are kind of getting formed together, and they are looking extremely dominant. So this 12-13 battle is going to be out of this world, and I think Dale Lindy acting like an extra loose forward at times, the way he hits rucks, the way he carries the ball over the advantage line, he is going to be so key for this team. And I think Jesse Kriel, the way he kind of captains the defense, the way he makes decisions on the defensive line in a split second will be really key for the Springboks as well. So 12 Dale Lindy, 13 Kriel. Now moving on to the back three, the explosive, exciting, small pocket rockets in the back three. We have Kurtley Arendse at number 11, one of the most prolific try scorers in Springbok rugby history, a guy that just cuts through teams like a hot knife through butter. He makes rugby look easy. And then number 14, Cheslin Kolbe, and I think Cheslin Kolbe will be kicking for the Poles. Maybe they trust Marnie Lebok, maybe, because I've been watching his kicking in Japan. It's been great. Cheslin Kolbe's also been kicking for his team in Japan, so I think it will be Cheslin Kolbe taking the kicking duties. But I mean, look at those two wingers there. They've beaten the All Blacks a few times before. 2 World Cup winners there. The one is a double World Cup winner. The one's burst onto the scene in 2022 in Kurtley Arendse and just absolutely taken the rugby world by storm. These guys are just such prolific wingers. They are so good under the high ball, and they truly actually get that out there, that size does not matter in rugby, because they jump higher than everyone else, they tackle harder than everyone else, they are faster than everyone else, and they are impossible to tackle. So those two wingers right there, they have to be the wingers for this game. I do think if there was to be an injury to another winger, I think Ethan Hooker maybe comes in, or a Kanan Moody, because those two guys right there are very good, have a high work rate as well. And if there was to be an injury there, I think maybe Ethan Hooker would come in, because he can play utility as well, maybe onto the bench as well. So number 11, Kurtley Arendse, number 14, Cheslin Kolbe, and of course number 15, it's got to be Damian Willemse. In my opinion, right now, the best fullback in the world currently. He's honestly playing up to his potential. He's about 27 years old, double World Cup winner, still has about 2 World Cups left. He is just a game changer for the Springboks. He can play 12, he can play 10, he plays 15, and he plays it extremely well. He will be so key for the Springboks right now. And I think the whole new Tony Brown attack, the way we defend now with Jerry Flannery, I think this is the perfect style of play for a guy like Damian Willemse. I truly do believe that he is just playing with so much confidence right now, and his game-changing ability with his footwork, his power, his playmaking is just out of this world, and he has to be at his best if we want to beat the All Blacks, because they've got guys like Damien McKenzie, Caleb Clark gone home now, but they got Josh Morby, they got Fehi Finyangonofu, they got some really good players as well. I mean, Will Jordan, some really good players in their backline there. And that's why I say this game is going to be an absolute 50-50. It's going to be a complete battle to try break each other down. It's going to be a war out there. But now, moving on to the bomb squad, the bench. arguably the most important part of the Springbok squad, of the team. When it comes to the 23, the starting lineup has to do their job to be in it until the end, but it's up to the bomb squad to come on and win it. And it took a lot of thinking, a lot of I had to come up and think to myself, who can we play there? Who will actually play well together? Who makes sense in this team right now? Well, I'll tell you right now, number 16 for me, it's got to be Jan-Hendrik Wessels. We saw Johan Grobbelaar playing for the Bulls against the All Blacks. I don't think he'll be in the number 16 jersey. Marco van Staden can also play in the number 16 jersey. But I think right now, if you want a jack of all trades player, a guy that can play prop, a guy that can play hooker, and a guy that can play lock, Jan-Hendrik Wessels, really good with ball in hand, reminds me a lot of a RG Snyman that can keep the ball alive, very good skillfully, very explosive, and really playing with a lot of confidence now off the bench. He's very confident, he's very comfortable in his role now, playing from the bench. So I think for me, number 16, Jan-Hendrik Wessels. Next to him, on either side of him, number 17 for me, it's got to be Gerard Steenkamp, and number 18, Wilco Louw. Keep that Bulls forward pack together, keep that Bulls front row together. They know how to play together, they've got so much cohesion, they'll come onto the field, they'll be comfortable scrummaging together. But I also wouldn't be surprised if we saw a Zachary Porton as well, because he's been scrummaging alongside Jan-Hendrik Wessels for a while. I just think for this game, Gerard Steenkamp, really solid player, gets the job done, very good scrummager. And number 18, Wilco Louw, if he is fit, if he is healthy, if he is back at full match fitness, because I have been worrying a little bit about his fitness. If he's back at 100%, he is a secret weapon for the Springboks. Not so secret with his massive legs. He's one of the biggest human beings you'll ever see, but he is a secret weapon. And I think if we have those guys in the backup front row, I don't think our scrum actually becomes that much weaker in the second half. I actually think some of those guys on any given day can outscrum a guy like a Oxenchair or a Thomas du Toit. So I do think that will be the backup front row, and we need that backup front row to be firing on all cylinders. But who's going to back them up? Who's going to come off the bench with them and really be the guys that make a massive difference and actually get the Springboks to come and go across the line and end up winning the game? Because this game's not going to be won in the first 20 minutes. It's not even going to be won in the last 20 minutes. It's going to be won in the last 10 or 5 minutes of the game. So for me, number 19, number 20, and number 21. Number 19, it's got to be Franco Mostert, in my opinion. Stayed behind with the squad. I think Rassie was giving us a few clues there. A workhorse by nature, does the unseen hard work so well. He's always bleeding. He's always got a black eye because he just throws his body around. Almost a bit like a like-for-like replacement with a Ruan Nortje, but he can come on and play lock. He can come on and play loose forward as well. And I think that's very important because I think number 20, he's really earned his call-up here after that Argentina game. I think number 20 is going to be Cameron Hanekom. Now, it could be Ben Jason Dixon. It could be Kobus Visser as well, because he's been really good for the Boks recently. It could be Marco van Staden. But I think what we saw from Cameron Hanekom has kind of justified a selection for him from the bench. He can play that Kwagga Smith role. And I think if Siya Kolisi wasn't playing, then I think it would be Paul de Villiers in that role. But I think Cameron Hanekom can really come on, add that explosive nature, that athleticism, the ability to be a game changer, a game breaker, the ability to hold people up in contact. I think Cameron Hanekom at number 20 will really come on and make a very, very good impact for the Springboks. Of course, number 21 for me, it's got to be Andre Esterhuizen, a hybrid player, battled a bit now with concussions, with a few injuries, but he's been one of the informed players in the URC. Played 12 for the Sharks, can play 13 as well. He's got a very good boot, but he can also play 7 and 8. Such a talented player right now. The informed player in the Springbok setup. Andre Esterhuizen has to be in the team. He knows how to beat the All Blacks. That's just the truth. When Andre Esterhuizen and Manie Lebok play together, they know how to beat the All Blacks, as well as Damian Willemse. So you need guys that have been there and done that. You need guys whose style of play the All Blacks seem to struggle with. And Andre Esterhuizen, he is one of those guys. He can come on and make it a 5-3 split and go to the backs. He can come on and make it a 6-2 split and go to the forwards as well. So Andre Esterhuizen is the key to this bench. But just looking at the players we've gone through already, a very strong bench for the Springboks. But now, moving on to the two backline players. Well, the two permanent backline players on the bench for me. I've gone for Kobus Reinach at number 22, and number 23, I've gone for Sasha Feinberg and Gomez Zulu. Now, a lot of people will probably say, where's Handre and all this? I've explained myself regarding that. I think Handre probably will have a part to play in the series, but I think right now, the last few years, Manie and Sasha, those have been the guys. The reason why I wouldn't want to start Sasha for this game is because he's still not really back at full form, just come back from an injury. Give him 20 or 30 minutes to just go complete full out, play him at 15 or wherever you want to put him on the field. If Marnie's playing well, play him out of position, it doesn't mind. Maybe at the end of the game, you can move Andre Estes into the loose forwards, put Damian Willems at 12, keep Marnie on, and play Sasha at 15 to really get the best of your attacking ability. Damien De Linde can also move to the flank, he can also move to number 13, so there's so many options you can do with this, and if there's enough injuries, if there's a lot of injuries, Grant Williams can also go to the wing as well. So I think to cover all bases, Reinach and Sasha Ngomazulu should be the two guys coming off the bench together, and also because they have been that combination that's played together, beaten France, beaten the All Blacks, beaten Ireland. They've played together through some of these big games, and I think the only reason why I wouldn't start them right now is purely just because Sasha Ngomazulu is coming back from injury right now and probably isn't 100% ready to play 80 minutes right now against the All Blacks. But of course, that being said, he could be the starting lineup. He could be the number 10 this week with Cobus Reinach at number 9 as well. So that is my team to take on the All Blacks this week at Ellis Park. Let me know, guys, if you agree. If you disagree, let me know as well down below. It is going to be a titanic battle, a historic battle, an absolute war. The green and gold versus the black jersey. The haka at Ellis Park is going to be phenomenal. Maybe we see a flyover as well. This is the rugby we've been waiting for, and I think this is the 23 that we can pick to really challenge the All Blacks, because they're on form right now. We're on form. Number 1 versus number 2 in the world. Thank you so much for all the support, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.